Hi, my name is Katie Mulholland.
And I'm Matt Mulholland.
And we are the bride and groom's best friends. I wanted to take a second to thank my honorary aunt and uncle, Paula and Frank Gamarello, for hosting this amazing party. It's perfect, and it's everything that I know that they wanted.
It seemed fitting in this rare occasion where best friends get to see their best friends get married that we would do our toasts together. So if you would give us a few minutes, we'll share a little bit about each of our relationships with the bride and groom.
Courtney and I have had a lifetime of memories together. Let me squish about 21 years into about 2 minutes. It all started when I was 6 and my family moved in across the street from the Gamarellos. They came over on move-in day and they brought us cookies and lemonade. The rest, they say, is history. We loved playing house in the backyard, doing plays out of the garage, and still one of my favorite memories is singing outside for hours in the pouring rain in the middle of our cul-de-sac. As we got older, our relationship changed and grew. We volunteered at VBS. If I had a little black box, made stupid videos. Selena Gomez in the scene, 9/29/09.
Yes.
And even visited Peru on missions trips. We always told our moms, and Mom has already told this story multiple times tonight, that we would go to college together, we would live together, and we would marry brothers or best friends. Now, preferably the Jonas brothers, but they were taken. Our mothers would smile and nod and just sort of be like, yeah, okay. I started going to college at Biola, and Courtney enjoyed visiting me so much, she decided to join me. We ended up rooming together our last 2 years. After graduation, we loved living together so much, we continued to live together for another 3 years. And by room together, I actually mean room together, because in an empty 4-bedroom house, we still wanted to sleep in the same room together. This is just 2 minutes of how Courtney has always been a constant in my life. She has always been a friend, even when I felt the most alone. I would not be here for many reasons if it wasn't for Courtney. She has shaped who I am as a person. Your influence in my life can be seen every day in how I act and how I relate to other people. You've been a Christian role model for me my whole life, and in some of my life, my only Christian friend, and someone that was like me in a lot of ways, and someone I could talk to on a deeper level about Christ. I look up to you and your faith in the Lord. You've been more than a friend. You are my sister I never had.
All right. While Courtney and Will have been friends since they were quite young, Will and I's friendship didn't begin till much later in life, while we were in college both studying econ. We were actually discussing it the other day, and we can't remember how our friendship really began, but at some point, we started carpooling to Northridge, and we were doing that twice a week, and that was the start of a deep friendship. What I'd like to communicate this time with is how lame we are when we're together. And I have 3 examples that I'll share. The first reason why we're lame is our hobbies. While at Northridge, between classes, every single day we would play Frisbee, and we would constantly try to find new ways to throw it. Each of us know 5 or 6 ways to throw a Frisbee, trying different ways, failing, so we often looked like we didn't know how to throw a Frisbee, and we would do that. I'm sure we looked super cool. Beyond that, we have played an unhealthy amount of video games, and yes, we've even done a fair amount of bowling. Yikes. The second example of our lameness is our sense of humor. Will and I, over the time together, we have developed this unique sense of very brash sarcasm that I don't know about Courtney, but Katie does not approve of. She is not a fan, thoroughly unamused of our sense of humor. And it's so brash that we can't include anybody else because everyone else would think that we're just terrible people. So we're just sitting giggling by ourselves. So anyway, yes, our sense of humor is our second reason why we're so lame. And the third reason is how much we talk. So the girls say that we are more like women than they are. We talk about everything. We'll talk about work, we'll talk about relationships, we'll talk about politics, we'll talk about Christ, we'll talk about video games. And the worst part is, when the girls make fun of us for it, there's actually nothing we can say because it's just the truth. But despite how lame we are, Will really is my best friend. We have an extremely rare relationship. We are open with each other, we are honest, we're challenging when we're with each other. And the number of thoughts and struggles that this man of God has helped me through can't be counted. And although we weren't lucky enough to be childhood friends, I'd like to say that in the past 6 years, we grew up together in the truest meaning of the word.
Now, Matt and I met in May of 2016, and he talked a lot about his best friend who lived in China, who he actually visited and had such this like strong connection with. He was so excited that Will was going to be moving back to Thousand Oaks. So they would hang out all the time. He would talk about like, oh, Will and I did this. But however, Will didn't want to meet me for about a year and a half. About a month before our engagement, I invited Matt and Courtney to celebrate my first day of school with some froyo.
Now, around this time, Will was going through a slight antisocial period. So it was like pulling teeth to get him to come. But now I bet you're glad that you did.
I remember driving home that night, and Courtney just talked about how intrigued she was by him and how interesting he had been. Now, I don't know if this was positive or negative, but we talked about him all the way home.
Courtney might not have been smitten right away, but Will was immediately interested. I distinctly remember that he was so impressed by such a bold woman of God. I think to this day, one of the main things that draws Will to Courtney is her character and her pursuit of the Lord.
I have never seen Courtney so happy and giddy as she has been in the last 2 years. As much as she talks in general, she talks even more about Will. But Will has cared for her heart and her mind better than she has ever hoped for. He is supportive, and I have seen him care for her in every way that she needs. And Will, you're an amazing human for putting up with all of Courtney's shenanigans.
All right, so while Katie goes and does a surprise thing, you guys should know that when we first knew we were going to do speeches, Will and Courtney asked us to do a roast. And we told them that this was a terrible idea. We're not going to roast you on your wedding day. Absolutely not. But they always like to have special things. So we have actually written a song for them, and we are going to be playing it.
So I must warn you, we are not singers, okay? So please do not judge us.
Actually, I need my pick.
Oh, I have it. It's right here.
Oh. What's going on?
And obviously not guitar players either.
It all started over some froyo. Ironic, Will was almost a no-show. We had good conversation, it just flowed. And after she's intrigued and he said, whoa. Now they're married, no turning back, we're so sorry. We never thought that she'd be a VITANZA Now. Now stop there, we know it's tempting to blame us, but we never thought that she'd be a VITANZA Now. We all know that Will's a giant nerd. His mannerisms are frankly quite absurd. And don't ask her for a chat.
You don't even try. Rest assured,
that's time you won't get back. Now they're married, no turning back, we're so sorry. We never thought that she'd be a VITANZA Now. Now stop there. Stop there. We know it's tempting to blame us, but we never thought that she'd be a VITANZA Now.
Now they're married.
On second thought, we're not sorry. We're just so happy that she's a VITANZA Now. Now go ahead, we'll take the credit, no problem. Sorry. Where are we? No, go
ahead.
1, 2, 3. No, go ahead, we'll take the credit, no problem. We're just so happy that she's a VITANZA Now. She's a VITANZA Now. She's a VITANZA Now.
So if you could raise your glasses. We pray that you guys find joy in the small things. We pray you make it a priority to smile and to laugh. Kiss good morning and kiss good night.
Don't take life too seriously. Talk it out. Remember that you are friends as well as husband and wife.
And finally, we pray that you always put God first.
That you seek him more each and every day.
And that he is the light that guides your individual lives and your marriage.
To the happy couple, cheers!
Oh, and look, Mom and Aunt Paula, we did it. We went to college, we roomed together, and now we married best friends!
Cheers. Let's hear from Matt and Katie, everybody. Woo! The talent tonight. We're going to pass the microphone to the mother of the groom. Please put your hands together for Janet.